What's up, everybody? Mike Arce here, and welcome back to the GSD show. And in this episode, I'm here with Chris Weber, and we're going to talk about how the most successful brands, big brands and small brands, have launched amazing pre-sales to get hundreds of members in the door before they even open.
If you own a gym or you need a gym, this is your guy.
My name's Mike, and I help fitness studios that are ready to take action, work hard, and grow their studios. In this very saturated industry, there's tons of competition, but the opportunities are incredible. We'll cover the most common challenges in the fitness world and invite guests in the show that have learned to overcome them and share their strategies with you. This is the GSD show. All right, guys, welcome back to the GSD show. In this episode, we're talking all about pre-sales, and we're here with the master, the sensei, Chris Weber. Chris, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Mike. How you doing?
I am doing great, and I cannot wait to talk about this with you because, you know, especially with franchises, some of them blowing up, a lot of them are just opening up more and more locations every single month. A really big contributor to their success is having a successful pre-sale, right?
Absolutely. It's crucial.
So when you say crucial, talk about the studios that don't do pre-sales versus the ones that do. What's the difference look like? Because you actually have metrics on all this stuff.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I've opened over about 60 units now. Big brands, small brands, international franchises. Those who come to market without a strategic plan, just open the doors, build it, they will come mentality, they are suffering greatly, Mike. They're taking about 18 to 24 months just to hit a break-even number and pay rent and their employees. Whereas the brands who come to town, bring their market really hard, they get those 200 or more pre-sales depending on their target demographics. They're coming in and just absolutely smashing it, leveraging those membership referrals, getting right into it.
So the strategies we're going to talk about today and the things that you've implemented in the past today and why these companies continue to hire you, these big brands continue to hire you as well, these are all things that you like to see aim to hit 200 or more. Like you said, it's a minimum, right? 200 or more paying members in the door before they even open, right?
Correct. Absolutely.
Okay, well, this is going to be a good show because that is a lot of members. And you have a really cool giveaway too, and it's like a 90-day plan. If, let's say, you missed your pre-sale, you didn't have a good, successful pre-sale, you feel like you wasted the opportunity, or you didn't know how important it was, now you're 4 months in or a year in, how do you run a pre-sale now? So you have a 90-day plan for people that missed it, and you're going to be giving away that 90-day plan throughout this episode, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
Awesome.
So those of us who really messed up and they're hurting, I'm ready to help get you back on track, at least give you the blueprint, and then I'm there for more support if you so need it.
You got it. All right, awesome. And so some of the biggest brands out there, they know that importance. So you've worked heavily with Orangetheory Fitness, right?
Absolutely. Yep. We brought it to the Atlanta market.
You opened the Atlanta market. Okay, and we're going to talk a lot about your background with them. Before we get into that, just to kind of set the tone, Orangetheory requires you to open with 200 paying members, right? So your pre-sale needs to generate, it's a requirement, 200 paying members, but the goal is up to 500 paying members. That's really what they want to hit, right?
Absolutely.
And
you want to start that first day off, big draft, and coast on that for a little while, recoup some of your major investments.
Okay, and these are numbers that they consistently hit, and you've consistently hit with them, right?
Absolutely, yep.
Okay,
in metros.
So let's talk about your background with Orangetheory, and then I want to jump into your other brands that you've worked with as well, so the audience and everybody watching and listening kind of can start understanding how they can relate to this information as well. So what was your role at Orangetheory, and really what did you do there?
Yeah, absolutely. So I was a managing partner. I hooked up with the investment group. They actually recruited me to join them. They had heard about me doing well with title boxing clubs in the local area.
So you've worked with title boxing as well. Okay,
yeah,
so we'll dive into that after this. Okay, go ahead.
Yep. So the main figurehead for the investment group, his name is Pavel. He just kept bothering me every day for almost a year. He said, listen, I'm bringing the most amazing brand to market. I want you to be a part of this with me. So we took it head on.
So was this before Orangetheory was like a really big name like it is today?
Absolutely. This is when Orangetheory really started getting the big press. This is before every single person, in a major metro was like, oh, I'm going to Orangetheory Fitness.
Right.
We had nothing here in Atlanta. So it was just starting from scratch.
Okay. All right, great. So now you worked with them. How many Orangetheory Fitnesses? Did you just open one of them or a few of them, or how many did you open?
Yeah, absolutely. So we opened 5 in the metro in less than 12 months. So we had a really aggressive growth plan for that. But then on top of that, we were the area development group. So we also sold over 30 franchises during that first year and started to help everybody launch their businesses as well. So as you can imagine, it was 24/7 for a solid year, getting ours up and running, putting the right people in place, and then helping our franchisees as well.
What's up, everybody? The NBA playoffs are officially in session. My Phoenix Suns unfortunately didn't make the cut, but from what I understand from my inside sources, they're winning all 82 games next year. I didn't say it, somebody else did. I'm just passing it to you. In the meantime, Chris Webber, the guy in this episode, you could probably notice he's pretty smart and he's great at what he does. And he's got an awesome giveaway for you where he's actually going to be giving away his top 7 tools to manage his business and his staff. So if you want that, which I know you do, you're going to want to go to thegsdshow.com/E051. Again, that's thegsdshow.com/E051. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next time. And all of them using the same strategies, like some of the strategies that we're going to be sharing today, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
Awesome.
One methodology. It's nothing copyrighted. It's nothing trademarked. This is just the formula for success in the fitness franchise space.
Okay, so let's start with, I'm opening a gym, and let's say, just as an example, let's say it's January 1st, right? To keep a timeline right? I'm opening up a gym January 1st. When should I start my pre-sale marketing campaign?
We're looking at 3 months before then.
Okay, so December, November, so October 1st, right? Oh, no, actually September 1st, I guess, right? Is that right? All of December, all of October. Oh, no, I'm sorry, October 1st. All of October, all of November, all of December, so that I can open up on January 1st, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, so 3 months prior. And so are there certain things you do right in the beginning that you don't do closer to the end? Are there certain things you wait until the end to start doing? I mean, is there a strategy, or you just do all the same things for those 3 months?
No, absolutely. There's definitely a strategy. So the biggest thing is when your brand isn't known in your market, people don't know who you are. So you have to start strategically placing your time and your people in the right places and target the people that you think are going to be your, loyal community, your membership base.
Okay.
And with that being said, we love to start with brand awareness. Brand awareness for me, 100% you have to wrap your vehicle. That's your free drive around, be seen on the town. We're here now. You're going to see my car parked in front of every coffee shop. I'm going to park it in the ideal spot at Home Depot or Lowe's, the grocery store. I'm going to put it at my old big box gym too. I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to run to my other office or my new studio that I'm opening, and I'm going to leave it in the spot where everybody's going to see it. That's one of the things.
Really quick, before we dive into the next thing, with wrapping a vehicle, obviously it probably depends if you have a Hummer versus if you have a Prius, but what generally would like a wrapped vehicle cost to do this the right way?
Yeah, absolutely. Depending on how crazy you want to get and how big your vehicle is, I've seen it as low as $800. I've seen it as high as $2,500.
Okay, and that's really not that bad. Okay, so $800 to $2,500 wrapping your vehicle, because you're going to be going back and forth to this studio over and over and over, as well as all the areas around there to really start cross-promoting, right?
Absolutely.
Great.
Absolutely.
All right, let's talk about
the best part about that is once you do roll up and you start hosting your community events, now you have something in the parking lot or nearby that looks good, showcases your brand well, and now you have people wearing t-shirts, and you have a tent that matches up, and now people are seeing it 3, 4, 5 times in one event in one area, and you're not even there yet. So
right.
It's awesome. They're going, what is that? What's this concept? Who is this?
Right. Okay, cool. Now, for the wrapped vehicle, just for some basic strategy points on this, what are some elements that definitely need to be on the wrapped vehicle?
Okay, yeah, definitely. Love to see bright colors. Hopefully, your brand has some bright colors. If it doesn't, that's okay. I want to see your logo. I want to know if you're going to open what side of town or exactly what city you're in. You know, you could in Atlanta, for example, you could say coming to Metro Atlanta or
Okay.
Metro Atlanta.
So
And
you
then
would actually
obviously-
wrap it. So you're not wrapping it thinking 7, 8 months down the road. You are wrapping it thinking this car is wrapped for pre-sale. So you're saying coming soon on the actual car, right?
Absolutely. Some of these shops can do something really cool. They can throw that extra on top of the wrap and make it blend in really well, so you can peel that off later.
Got
So
it.
once you are there, you can have the now open underneath there, which is always pretty sweet.
What else we have? So October 1st, I just wrapped my vehicle. It's October 2nd. That's done. What do I do next?
Okay, so obviously there's going to be a big approach to this, and it's going to be multiple tiers, and we're going to jump in with different aspects of it at different times. October 2nd, though, I want to make sure that you have a definitive plan. What are you doing daily, weekly, and monthly? This is crucial to your success in pre-sale. Daily, I want to make sure that you actually have a pre-sale booth set up somewhere near your location that you're inviting people back to.
Every day.
Every day.
And
Studio
so-
manager or yourself has to be somewhere in the community that you can talk about your concept. You can tell them why it's the greatest thing coming. You can get their contact information. And if it feels right, you can offer the membership right then and there, letting them know, and we'll get down the line. Why am I going to give you $100-something right now? I'll get into that a little bit later in the show.
Got it. So now when you say booth, set up something nearby, I mean, every day we're talking 90 spots, right? And I'm sure some of these places you can go back to again a second, third time. But give me an example of some places that you would set up your booth.
Okay. The easiest is if you're in a new retail or retail shopping center, go ahead and talk with the landlord. Try to get a shop in the same shopping center or across the street, somewhere in proximity. So at least then the car's parked where your location might be as well,
Okay.
or in that general vicinity. And then you are set up shop. You got a working office right nearby. People
Right.
can come in. You can talk to them.
Okay, so like a satellite office type thing?
Exactly.
Okay, and I've seen those a lot. I've actually run some of those for LA Fitness in the past where we always open up with a satellite office, 500 to 1,000 square feet, but really the goal is just to be able to have a conversation with somebody indoors about the gym that's about to open.
Absolutely.
So every day we want to make sure we are posted somewhere. And so your strategy, like you said, is the first time you go and you introduce yourself to all the people that you know are in the community, think that you may want to be able to work a business relationship with them, whether it's some referral type program or even just something as simple as setting up a booth in front of their business when the time comes. So you meet them first, you shake hands, you maybe follow up with like a nice thank you text or a great to meet you text or email. And then like a week or two later, that's when you go up to them and say, hey, I don't know what your thoughts are on this, but it'd really help out if we can do this. Or what's your pitch? How do you ask them?
Absolutely, yeah. So, as they already know, you're bringing your new business to market. They know the difficulties of that, especially if they're established business. So you say, hey, it would really help me out if we could partner up. I don't know if this is something you're comfortable with, but I'd love to park this or put my booth out here, open to your feedback. What do you think? It would really help me out. I'd love to send you, all of my referrals as well. We're going to be doing community events later. I'd love to get all of your employees of your business involved as well. So kind of actually a back and forth pass, not just asking for more and giving nothing.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense. Can you give me an example of like a 15-second elevator pitch for, let's say, a hit studio?
Okay, cool. So let's say I'm walking up to you on the street. Hey, have you heard about us? I'm holding up a flyer.
Yeah.
You'd say, no, what is that? Well, let me tell you a little bit about us. We're the newest, latest, greatest hit studio in the whole community. We are 100% oriented for your success, and I'd love to invite you out for our grand opening party. Something
Awesome.
along the lines of that. That was actually not my best pitch, but
No, that was
you got
really
me off
good.
guard there. But bringing the excitement, just who are you? What do you do? And then what's their call to action?
All right, great. So we have some really good plans for that. Any other daily activities you want to see them doing?
Yeah, I want to see somebody out in the community with branded apparel on every single day. So that's also really crucial. A lot of people will walk out in regular workout clothes, but they're not actually advertising their brand. I want to see a T-shirt, hopefully coming soon on that T-shirt with a phone number and your logo. Really important.
Right. And even if you live 20 minutes away from that studio, go grocery shopping at the grocery store closest to your studio. I mean, you got 90 days to make this happen, right? Grocery shop right there. If you have to go to Verizon because your phone's not working, don't go to the one by your house. If it's 20 minutes from your studio, drive to the Verizon closest to your studio, right? Is that basically what you're saying?
Absolutely. No Starbucks around the corner from the house. You got to go back to where your studio's at, set up shop, get the stickers on the laptop, the whole 9 yards.
And you may be saying, oh, but it's going to take me so much more time and gas. You know, it's going to take you more time, 18 to 24 months just to break even. It's a good swap.
Yeah.
It's a good
or
swap.
Zero revenue during that time. That's going to hurt a lot worse than that 10 minutes you spend extra on your commute.
Exactly. Okay, great. Really quick, we didn't talk about this. We talked about putting the website on the car, but we didn't talk about the website. So how soon do you put up a website, and do you start with like a landing page, or do you start with a full-on website? You know, what's your goal on that?
My number one goal is to get prospects. So a landing page is fine. Obviously, if they're hooking up with a company like Loud Rumor, you guys will really help them, bring their brand properly showcased to market, which really helps. Mm-hmm. If you're a mom and pop shop, though, if you have a beautiful website but you're not getting any prospects from it and traffic's going to it, you really got to think, why am I not getting any leads? And you have to put an offer or a coming soon. We'd love to invite you out to X, Y, and Z. Whatever it is, whatever makes sense for you and your brand, you got to get prospects. A landing page will do just fine. Got it.
What's a good offer for a pre-sale? Because you don't have anywhere for them to work out yet. So what's the offer?
Exactly. So I like to pitch the founder's rate. The founder's rate is a discounted rate that happens only before the studio's open. It will be offered at no other time. And it will be a substantial discount. Let's say your average rate is $189 a month. You can become a founder for the unlimited membership at $159 a month. And, you can piggyback that off of a lot of different techniques. I love giving the 30-day, 12-visit money-back guarantee. So I know you're taking a risk on me today, Mike. You might be looking at my new studio going, yeah, that's a founder's rate. I might save a little money, but what if I hate it? Well, show up 12 times. If I don't give you any results, I'll give you your money back. So it's actually.
So if they only come in 8 times in that month, the guarantee doesn't apply, because obviously you're not going to get results just because you're paying me $159. You're going to get results because you're doing this thing that we're telling you works, right? So hey, we're going to give you a guarantee, a 30-day money-back guarantee, so long as you come in 12 times during that time, which is really 3 times a week. That's pretty easy to do.
Yeah, and that's what's going to be required to get any results in fitness programming. It's not unique to you or your facility.
Right.
If you're not using it 3 times a week, you're not getting
at least,
results,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So great.
And that's also good. And I've also, in different concepts, some franchises offer the mock week or the trial week before our official launch. So that's actually a time that you can say, you know what, I signed up, I tried it, I hate it, it's not for me. That's okay. We don't want those people to be forced into something that they're not going to enjoy and they're going to look at it as a financial strain. That's the time for them to come in, try it, and then tell everybody they know and actually get another incentive to invite more friends right then and there.
Now, do you recommend doing like enrollment fees, and then that's something you can waive during this time frame, or do you stay away from enrollment fees and just stay cut and dry with a monthly membership?
I've seen it both ways. I know personally I don't want to pay an enrollment fee. So if I could just sign up month-to-month membership, written 30-day cancel notice, and you're not going to charge me that extra $100 or $200 just because I'm a new person, I personally feel more comfortable with that. I think it's an easier sell. During the pre-sale, I have had people waive that. It works out okay. But it's really up for you, what you feel comfortable with your business model and what you're trying to create.
I know a lot of studios are doing this where they, if they're on a month-to-month, because they have that 30-day, they'll usually require first and last month paid up front. Do you recommend doing that at all, or do you just do month-to-month? Like, hey, just pay me for first month and that's it?
Yeah, again, I like the just first month. Pay
Okay.
up front. Realistically, most people are not going to put their 30-day notice in on day one. So you will hit that draft no matter what. And it's not as much of a financial commitment up front. It's a little bit less risk versus the reward for you as a selling point, and then for the consumer as well.
Got it. Okay. And so what else are we doing in this pre-sale? I mean, are we running ads on YouTube? Are we running ads on Instagram, Facebook? What's the organic social media strategy? What are we doing in that realm?
Absolutely. So digital wise, I'd love to see the Facebook and the Instagram ads. That's where everybody's hanging out. YouTube can be effective as well. Targeting your target demographic, though, you really have to define that. If you're a CrossFit gym, it's not going to be the same as a flywheel. You know,
Right.
so when we look at all these different concepts, you really have to break down who is it and who am I going to try to target and what's my messaging going to be, and also what the call to action is. So you can't just put your ad out or your picture or your video and then not have anybody do anything at the end of that. That's a huge
Right.
miss for a lot of companies.
Right. And obviously we have a lot of customers watching and listening in, but we have a lot of non-customers watching and listening in. So for the non-customers, you can target people that are within 5 miles on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube. You can target people that are within 5 miles of your studio that are, let's say, women that are between the ages of 25 and 55 that like hiking. You know, there's things that you can do. It's pretty impressive. And then you can also build what's called a retargeting list. So you can constantly stay in front of these people. If you're not sure what a retargeting list is and how that works, Sam, can you put the link to that, our blog, and I can show you what that is, but there's a link to the blog on there. We wrote a whole blog on it, but basically think of it this way. You go to Amazon to buy a pair of shoes. You almost get there, but you don't actually buy the pair of shoes. And next thing you know, that pair of shoes is following you everywhere you go. And so same situation. We work hard and spend money to show ads to customers or potential customers, prospects. We don't want to just assume that this is the moment they're going to make a decision and they're not busy right now and they don't have a kid in a high chair screaming and their boss isn't coming around the corner. We want to assume that, hey, maybe just right now when she saw the ad, she wasn't into it, but she was into it enough to click on it. Now that she did, I want to continue showing it to her over and over, right?
Absolutely.
So great, and different ads as well. Okay, so the digital space is something you like. What else? Is there any other parts of the strategy that you think are just heavy components?
Absolutely. So having an aggressive, as we would call it, guerrilla marketing plan, for me, that means your street plan. That means talking to anyone and everyone, even if they don't necessarily fall in your target demographic. If it's somebody who will talk to you and perhaps recommend their friend, their wife, their husband, girlfriend, boyfriend, whoever it might be, that's a worthy conversation. I actually had a franchisor up in Pennsylvania laugh at me because I approached a woman with her baby carriage. She had a dog, her kid, and she was on the cell phone. And I said, hey, real quick, love for you to check us out. I know you're busy. Have a great day. He goes, I can't believe you just approached that lady. 10 minutes later, she came back. The kid was in the car. The dog was in the car. She rolled her window down. I'd like to try that. And he couldn't believe that.
And I'm so glad you said that, because here's the thing. I think too many people, there's 3 types of people out there. Obviously, there's many types, but in this example, there's 3 types of people. There's people that they start a business, they know what they signed up for, and they know that means on the daily, being uncomfortable and stretching yourself and doing things that need to be done to grow this business that you've now committed to, right? Those people. There's people that didn't expect that had to happen. They thought because their training was so good and their fitness, strategy was so good that people would just come, right? Like if you build it, it will come. And when they find out that they have to hustle like this and they have to do all these things, they freak out and they never really grow because they need to live comfortable to a point when it comes to that. And the third person is the person that goes, I don't know how to do all this, but whatever, let's get it done. I got to do it, right?
Yep.
So.
Yep.
At the end of the day, though, there's a trend, a few hundred some studios we've worked with. I got to say that the most successful people are the people that do what you just said, right? Like, I know it's not the most comfortable thing. It's the most comfortable thing in the world, going up to a woman that's with her child, that's walking, clearly busy. No, it's not comfortable. But I want to grow my business. And the difference between me and everybody else is not that I'm comfortable and they're uncomfortable. right? The difference between me and them is that we're both uncomfortable, but I'm going to push through it where they won't. And that's why I'm going to be where they're not, right? And so that's the difference. And for those of you that are watching and that are listening, you got to understand that you got to get over that part, because if you don't, then you're basically the same as everyone else that's not really making it. They're living comfortable, but it doesn't mean they're being successful. Okay?
Absolutely. I'll add on to that too. If you're someone who just is not okay with those conversations, because you know what, maybe you are the business operator, you're not the salesperson. Find a talented individual to properly represent you and let them work their magic. That's perfectly okay too. You're going to meet people who just absolutely are a people's person. They'll enjoy it. And they'll take the 9 no's and get that 1 yes and have their celebration. And that's what you have to expect. You have to expect 90% of the people to just go, no, I'm not interested.
Yeah, and you know what the crazy thing is too, Chris? Even if you are that way, you still want people like that there, right? It's
you do.
if you are like extremely uncomfortable, like paranoia uncomfortable, then yes, you got to bring people on board to do that for you. But even if you are, you know what, I'm going to do it. I'm going to, regardless of how I feel, you still want those people on your team, because it's great to have 2 of you and 3 of you and 4 of you, comfortably or uncomfortably going up to people and getting them to know about your fitness studio that's opening up, right? So That brings me to the next thing. Let's say you want to hire people. Obviously, it's great if you can find people that have successfully done this at other fitness studios, that have successfully worked other pre-sales, and they can tell you what they've done. But let's say they don't have a background. What are some things that you would like to see they've done in the past, or things that you know, or how would you interview them or test them in order to make sure that they're going to be able to be a big part of your pre-sale by going up to these people when they have to?
Absolutely. So, it's funny. I actually been talking with some franchisees very recently. So we got this great studio manager. I said, okay, cool. So she knows how to run a studio. How many pre-sales has she done? 0. So I said, I actually would love to re-qualify her with my interview process. And I'll give you guys one tip for that. It's, okay, can this person properly explain my concept, whatever it is? Can they do the elevator pitch right here as we give them a little bit of encouragement and training? Great. Now go out and get me leads.
Right.
That's your first interview pass. If you can't do that, I can't trust you to properly represent my business when I'm not there. Right. And it's hard. But can you train people? Absolutely. If people want to learn, if they're friendly, if they're excited about it, they will take whatever you give them. They'll swallow it up, and then they'll get it to the right person.
Right. There's one of my coaches and mentors said the difference. You got to look at them like 3 different animals. There's tigers, there's horses, and there's dogs. Tigers, you don't need to tell them to go kill, right?
Nope.
They kill even if they're not hungry, because it keeps them sharp. It's like practice for them. They got to keep their skills going. So even if they're full, they will kill if something's there, right? Then there's horses. Horses need to be whipped to move. When they move, right? They're fast, but you got to whip them, and you got to constantly stay on top of them, right? And then there's dogs that literally have to be fed. You have to feed them or they're going to die, right? And so that being said, for this type of role, you got to look for the tigers. Some horses may do, but honestly, it's a lot easier to have people out there killing when you don't have to tell them to go kill and getting these things done. And there's a lot of them out there. There's people that are hungry out there, especially if you challenge them. There's great questions you can ask in the interview process. If you watch the episode, Sam put that episode on there for when I had Christine and we talked about the interview process, that you can set the tone the right way for them so they know what's responsible with them from the get-go, and you're not wanting to change them halfway through expectations have been set. Give me 1 or 2 questions you ask them to know if they're a good fit.
Really funny, but I love asking the end of the interview question, what animal would you be? You gave that analogy, and that'll tell me a lot about actually the characteristic behind the person and if they're able to. The other things will be, how comfortable are you getting 100 no's? If I tell you no 100 times, are you going to persist? Okay. Straight away, I want to know. So
if they say golden retriever, we just stop it right there?
We could dig in a little bit more. But typically that's not an answer I get.
You want sharks, you want tigers, you want lions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hawks.
Absolutely.
No salamanders, Sam. I know that's what you were thinking. Okay. So Great. So we got that out of the way. What else? What also is a part of a successful presale, or did we hit it all, or is your 90-day plan going to hit on all of it? Where are we at here on this? Because I feel like there's so much that you know right now, and I got to squeeze it all out of you.
There's a lot, and looking at it as a whole, it's a strategic approach. It's about being out in the street constantly, having your wrap vehicle out there, being involved in the community events, having your online marketing work for you while you're not actually working. That's why you pay a professional company like Loud Rumor to generate those leads. And what do you do when you get those leads? You bring them in as close to you as possible. You give them a fantastic presentation and tell them right now is why you need to buy. And now everybody's not going to be able to be comfortable with that, but I'm going to encourage it, and I'm going to show you how to do it with my programming.
Chris, is there anything else that you'd like to add to this amazing episode that I'm so glad I did?
Absolutely. I would love to just say, being consistent with all these actions is going to be what makes you successful. If you only take one part of the plan, if you only do one style of marketing and you're not consistent, it's not going to work. But know that the consistency is going to get you there, and have faith in the process. The method works. Okay, awesome. Chris, how can people get a hold of you if they wanted to, let's say, learn more about you or follow you, or how can they reach you? Absolutely. You can follow me at beakinship.com, BEAKINSHIP. That's our consulting business. Okay. We're working with fitness franchises, boutique startups, mostly people in the group fitness space. So if you're thinking of starting a studio, you don't know where to go, you're not sure if you have your program design or the right concept together, I'm here to help you with that. Right now, Facebook, Beakinship. Look us up there as well, and then start following us on Instagram. We're posting just regular tips every day, little encouragement, nothing salesy, nothing specific to one industry or another. Awesome. And Sam, can we put all his Instagram handles, all that stuff on the screen? Fantastic. Chris, thanks so much. For those of you that tuned in, he is the real deal. This guy is sharp, knows his stuff, and definitely get that plan. Definitely share this video out. This episode out to those that are running fitness studios, whether they're open or they're about to open, and save this and bookmark it if you plan on opening another location in the future, because this is what's going to make you successful. Thanks so much, Chris, for taking the time. I appreciate it. Yep. Thank you, Mike. Have a great one. Yep. See you next time.